Hello and welcome to the LOE podcast, or potentially the League of Nations today. We're joined by almost a 24-hour clock. If Big W was actually based over in Australia, we'd almost be covering the globe. It'd be sunny somewhere, always in this podcast. But I'm joined by Ghost Recon, where it's 6:30 in the morning, I believe. Where he? Yeah. Big W.
Yeah.
And the slightly more closer to home, but slightly more out there in other ways, Ivor Bryn Mike.
I mean, when you said it was sunny somewhere, I was like, not been to Wales, but it's never sunny. It's always cloudy.
So yeah, we're gonna do. It's a bit. There's four of us. We're gonna run over the three divisions, all separately, but kind of condensed into one nice juicy podcast. And we've got a range of experience with us. Obviously, I'll take care of D1 as I've spotted up on it, and I can speak on a little bit of the new additions. Ivor and Ghost will focus on D2 because they had a very nice view from the commentary box last week, and Big W, we will mostly focus on the D3 side. So yeah, quite a lot to talk about. Not so much in the first division. There was 14 drivers. Monaco's not a popular one necessarily, and it had some interesting results. It had some interesting podium performances and some good quali laps from people that some people might not expect. Montana was on pole, Wouters in second, Messina in third, Yari in fourth, and Bullet Boy in fifth, beating the likes of Cantera, Killer Blue, Luigi, Sterling, Rick, YHYY, Cookie Games, and the two QVR lads right at the back where they belong.
That's my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bit of an Irish QVR war going on at the moment, so we're going to stick it into them where we can.
I mean, try Mark Island for losing.
Yeah, I suppose this was just after the rugby. Unfortunately, Gary O'Donegan, who is a Division 1 driver, will not be too happy with that performance, and he is back this week in Russia. So
Watch out for the mega dive bombs into turn one.
I mean, it's a good job we're not racing at Japan this week, because I'd really been sorting them over.
Yeah, Suzuka might be boycotted by the Irish. We just don't know. But the one performance, the one performance I almost want to highlight in that quali section is Yari, who is very much a Monaco specialist. I've raced with him in other seasons when he was in D2, and he is just leagues ahead of most people in D2 when it comes to that race. So I wasn't too surprised with that. But yeah, a bit out of kilter from the rest of his season. He's normally towards the back, but a good performance there from him.
Yeah, sounds interesting. I didn't actually watch the D1 race after, but Gary, he was very quick in that before at Monaco, so
yeah, no, absolutely. And he did well. He was in third for most of the race. I mean, the race itself was won by Montana. A very, very assured kind of victory from him. He kept Messina. Messina wasn't too far behind. Messina just picked up a lot of pens. Yeah, but a very good 1-2 for the NXX lads. Yeah, so I don't know if obviously Montana's now lead at the top is just vast, but there's some news on that.
Yeah.
There is some news that I can share with all of you after this. Luigi taking the podium from Yari in a very tight battle between them two, which was good to see. Former Division 2 champions beating off a lot of Division 1 competition that have been here for a long time, so that in itself was also good to see between them two. I felt a bit bad for Yari It would have been nice to see him get a podium, but
Yeah, only 4 tenths off the podium.
yeah, absolutely. And they tended to keep it a bit cleaner than Division 2, with the top, I believe, top 8. Yeah, top 8 only one stopping. So there wasn't any kind of too much shenanigans going on. Don't get me wrong, Monaco's always been incident, but
That's kind of what we expect from D1 though. A lot less mistakes compared to what we get in D2 and D3.
yeah, no, absolutely. But yeah, I think the big kind of caveat is nice to see, you know, the Finnish brothers 5th and 6th. Sterling with another good performance as well. A bit of a thin grid, I think, mainly because it's Monaco. It should be a bit better this week in regards to. Yeah, I mean, I can't see it being too. It can't be too much thinner. And yeah, only 9 finished with Bullet Boy getting the fastest lap and collecting 5 points as the same as Game Boys. But I think the big news, if I'm honest, more than that race, is we have the return of 3 former champions, which is pretty mad in the same week, which is Michemery, Harry and Neo. So that's incredibly exciting for Division 1, and I think that will add a bit of fresh air into the proceedings. And also, just one other thing to talk about on D1 is that because of his lead, NSX Montana is going to be going no assists, as is Harrison David, which really, and Mitch has always been no assist, but he's not played the game like at all, pretty much. Yeah, so I think this could really make the grid near enough dead even at the top, like 7 or 8 guys, which is really cool to see. And it'll be interesting to see.
I think we're going to be seeing a couple of shock performances, and if they're going to be taking their assists off, we might see 1 or 2 surprises, and hopefully it'll make D1 a lot more competitive than what it has been with
Hopefully the
Montana.
results get shaken out.
Yeah, completely, and I think it could be it's going to cause some really interesting dynamics for Russia as a whole. As a bit of a, you know, as a bit of a, I suppose, a prequel for D1 for the track. We've got Daka, who really fancies himself around this track on his birthday, so that'll be interesting. Hopefully no one gives him a birthday beat or birthday bumps off at one of the corners, but he really fancies his chances. We've got guys like Doom, also Messina, who has just been promoted into a full-time seat at Haas, replacing the QVR lad of Maledictus, who moves down to D2, alongside Killer Blue going into the Williams full-time, replacing Rafa alongside another movement, which is the cursed number 2 seat of the Racing Point alongside Larkin. No one seems to want to be Larkin's teammate for very long, so we hope Neo will last it out. So lots of dynamics for Division 1, and
there seems to be more moves in D1 at the moment than the entirety of the Singapore Grand Prix.
Yes, yeah, and hopefully that stops now, causing Rick unnecessary headaches over there, trying to get everything sorted, but it should be okay now. We should have a grid of about, I'm hoping, 17 or 18 this week, which would be positive. Might be 16, I don't know, but we should definitely get more than 14. But yeah, that's kind of D1 in a small nutshell, I suppose. Any I know you guys obviously might not necessarily watch D1 tons because it's on at the same time and stuff, but any predictions for what you feel might happen at Russia?
That is a tricky call. But if I have to give a predictions for Division 2, think I think I could see the Ferraris and the Red Bulls definitely going at it, because they've been going at it with each other for this entire season, including how they were in Monaco. So we might be seeing some great battles from them in here in Russia. That's all I can predict for right now.
Hmm.
I feel like the field could be shaken up quite a lot with how easy it is to follow with the DRS. I feel like some of the not so quick guys could be up there fighting with it, fighting up the top, if they just stay within DRS, don't drop back. So could be shaken up a bit.
Yeah, potentially.
The DRS on the track is just completely overpowered, and you just rocket by with that. So I believe we're going to be seeing a lot of overtakes with the DRS range.
No, fair.
I think it's going to be a colossal battle between Harrison and Montana.
Yeah.
I wonder if Mitch will get involved. I do wonder. I know he's not played the game for the whole, pretty much of its existence, but I can't tell you how quick Mitch absolutely used to dominate when the season after Decky, must have been season 17 and season 16, so it's really interesting. And Neo further back in like F1 2016 was the guy that was dominating everyone, so it's a really weird dynamic. It almost feels like a bit of a champion of champions kind of race, which is really cool, and I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to seeing what James makes of it as well. I need to swat him up on that, and hopefully that'll buzz him.
I have done a short practice session with Mitch, and his pace seems up to par. He could be up there fighting for the win if he just doesn't make a mistake. So looking forward to watching the race and seeing what happens.
And I've done a practice with Harrison as well, and I can say the same thing for Harrison.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Doom is top of the leaderboard on the event for quali. I don't know if he's done the race yet. I don't think he's done the race yet, but he was top in the world. I don't know if he finished top in the world, but he was top for the first couple of weeks.
Top in the world for quite a while.
Yeah, so crazy. Loads of different caveats. So have to see, but Ivor and Ghost, you can move on to D2 if you wish.
Well, I mean, we had a fantastic D2 start.
As I say, we had 19 original drivers start off on the grid, and then just came to a staggering 9 DNFs, including one surprising from Raikkonen. Not so much of crashing out, but for more of retirement purposes. But it's still, though, I was a little bit worried that we were not going to see some overtakes, but luckily I was completely wrong.
I mean, when it comes to retirements, I actually felt more for RJW.
RJW, yeah.
That was
just because
that was heart-wrenching.
Yeah, I did feel it for him.
I think it was. I feel like it was up in the top 9. I think it was at the time. Then all of a sudden, just see him driving slowly off the racing line. Unfortunate. Yeah,
obviously he's with his pedals going. I think he was directly behind me. I think. Yeah, and unfortunately that's going to keep him out for a few weeks. So yeah, not great. But there was, for me, the only thing I'll add, I suppose, to what you guys are going to talk about is there were some shock retirements, and Raikkonen in particular. He kind of threw away 4 points, I feel, this race minimum. That might.
Yeah, I think I said that in the stream. He's thrown away a chance at a couple of more points.
Yeah, I just didn't get it. I really didn't get it. I get it's frustrating. I don't think some people genuinely hate driving that track, and I do understand that. But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, the track itself is not for the faint of hearts, and I could definitely see how it could be very frustrating, just because you hit the wall once and you already mess up your wing, and of course it throws you completely off your strategy. But I always look at it to where like you can always scavenge for something. It might not be the best, but at least it's gonna be something to scavenge from.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I think
it's more-
one big thing to also note as well was the Ferraris locking up the front row in qualifying.
Yeah, I Ferrari won too. That was a really interesting qualifying session. And to be quite honest, I wasn't really surprised with that because those two really know their way with Monaco. But I want to say the winner for Division 2 for Monaco, Dan, he was just phenomenal in that track. Like he just did everything right. He needed to be where he was, and he stuck with his strategy. So it was a really great. That was a really great performance for him. So a well-deserved win for him.
I mean, I felt bad for J. Cole's race as well because he qualified second and ended up towards the lower end in the points.
Yeah, he had a magnet.
Caught out in some sense.
He had a magnet on his car.
I also have to feel quite bad for Campbell and what happened with him. I forgot when exactly it was, but his wheel shifted down 2 gears on just one press of the paddle, caused him to spin and lose some of his front wing, which lost him the lead of the race, effectively giving Dan just free run to take it home.
I think he said something about it pressing share as well, like randomly, which apparently is a known problem. But
I don't know. I mean, at this point now, I mean, Campbell has got to be one of the most unlucky drivers in D2 at the moment.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's reserved to Sergio, to be honest.
yeah, he's.
I still want Sarja and Starja on the same team. I'm still going for it. Mid-season transfer, make it happen.
Missed opportunity.
It might happen because Sarda's gone back to reserve. So if a seat opens up next to him, next to Starja, you never know. But thing is, when we talk about luck, you can get unlucky, definitely. And I think you can have 6 or 7 races in a row where you can be unlucky. But over a whole season, it should roughly even itself out. So
Yeah.
you know, take the rough with the smooth, and we can say how unlucky Campbell was. He picked up 18 points on Raikkonen. He picked up points on Caesar. He picked up points on RJ. He picked up points on J. Cole. He picked up points. The only person he didn't pick up points on was Dan. So if that's his definition of unlucky, then fair enough.
I feel like
I think
disappointed he could have had a win.
Yeah, but you know, you get a lot can happen. You know, it's an 18 race season. Sometimes you got to look at what, like the worst case. He lost, in his eyes, he lost 7 points. Well,
Yeah, but he could have lost the whole 25.
yeah, exactly.
I think one more thing that we can't really gloss over was the drive from yourself, Mark.
Yeah.
It was just.
Comfortable P3 at the end.
They say a very. You just seem really cool. You just seem really cool-headed on the track because, and that was something I actually wanted to say real quick was, like how you can easily mess up your strategy on it, and you don't really take accountability that when you mess up your strategy, you're just so annoyed and you don't fully concentrate.
Yeah.
But in a track like Monaco, you really need to have that full concentration. But as I say, from what I saw from you though, you just seem really cool-headed from that entire race.
I'll be honest. My strategy was Well, I got overtaken at the start, I think from Caesar, which was fine. I was like, do you know what, Caesar's quicker than me. I could do without you hanging around the back of my like gearbox, so that's fine. And I was purposely not getting onto the back of anybody. I was trying to keep people behind me, but if when we was approaching, we approached Cloudy, we approached people, I was just trying to stay about 7 or 8 tenths, just because I had enough braking room to go into the chicane and the hairpin, so that I didn't smack my wing accidentally. That's all I did. I didn't try and overtake anyone. I literally refused. I didn't even bother trying to overtake one single person, except Cloudy when he disconnected. That was it. It's just the most bizarre podium ever.
Speaking of disconnection, what happened with the restart lobby? Is it just because Cloudy kept leaving and training?
I got annoyed. I got annoyed. I'll be honest, because I don't understand how that happens. Like, he just left just before. I re-invited just before quali finished, and I re-invited him, and he come back in, and then the whole lobby glitched, and I was like, "Are you doing this?"
Yeah, it just was frozen.
I don't know, and it bugs me. It really does, but I think it was an accident. But it's just, unfortunately, it's one of those things, and Dan deserves extra props, not just for winning, but for having to sort that out. Is actually a real big pain in the backside, and it is quite stressful when you've got like loads of people in the
sort it
chat.
out as quickly as he did as well.
Yeah, big props to him, man.
Yeah, so I think Dan was loving life, yo. After he sorted out quick enough and then go on to win, he was loving life.
Well,
Yeah.
so you guys have seen a lot of the season, and you've been watching it from the commentary tee in particular. I'm just thinking, for me, the more I look at this, the more I think this could be Dan's to lose, because another factor that I think we need to factor in is Raikkonen isn't racing tonight, so that's going to be huge points for someone, and Caesar is going to be having a bit of a break at some point, so before you know it, Dan
could take the lead tonight, to be honest.
yeah, he could very easily. If Caesar finishes, what, 8 points behind? No, it'd have to be 9.
I'm just gonna bring the championship up a second.
Yeah.
6 points to Caesar, and then 8 to Raikkonen.
Yeah,
Isn't B Morgan back tonight as well?
he should be. And it's very concertinaed between B Morgan on 71 and Raikkonen. There's a race win between 1st to 8th.
Yeah. And B Morgan definitely does have the pace. If he just, based on my practice session, he just needs to work slightly on his race pace, and then he'll be right up there. So.
And you can't count out
The
Jaco
battle
either.
that you're in as well. The battle for 4th. That's going to be very tasty with you, B Morgan, and Campbell.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a shame RJ's obviously having some time off, because there's only 3 points between the 4 of us, so that would have been amazing.
And
Shame
Mark,
for
what
Williams and the
happened to
constructors
you?
as well.
what happened to you beating Dan?
Oh, that's still going to occur.
Championship.
I'm still fully confident, but he's just a poor Coco. He's a poor man's Coco who's going to get put in his place, so that's fine. But I don't know. In all seriousness, though, I think he could be, in my eyes, he's the favourite for the title. And then we have, I think it depends on how him and Raikkonen, it will be close.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Him and Raikkonen, really.
And I'm only discounting Caesar purely because he's got 4 weeks off, so which is a bit unfortunate. And that's going to really just put pay to his chances of beating those two guys. But
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, we still can't count you, Campbell, and B Morgan out yet.
Yeah, it's still really close.
Or even J Cole with a lead charge in the latter part of the season or something.
I think there's a lot of chance that I come in the top 3. There's no chance I win. And conversely, between Campbell and and you compare that to J. Cole, who's like 20 points behind. I think J. Cole will either come 7th or he'll come top 2. Like, I don't have the natural pace.
Have the pace.
Yeah.
J. Cole does have the pace, he just needs to make sure he keeps it consistent, keeps it out of the wall.
Yeah. But there's a long way to go, and this race could potentially really, really help shape it. If Dan puts in a really good performance and Caesar doesn't, and this is kind of J. Cole's last chance in my eyes, really. He needs to not lose points now. He needs to stop losing points to the top. It's fine if he comes like 3rd or something, but he can't be doing a 9th or a 10th this race. So it just depends on how he deals with that.
Unfortunately, there's going to be a change in the constructors tonight, I think. For top of the constructors, Williams only 7 points clear. Red Bull, RJ has to take that break. Caesar's going to be taking that break. Constructors is Red Bulls for the taking.
Although we do have a new, and do you know what? Actually, we've completely forgot about this guy. He could really help out Raikkonen tonight, which is the new with Maledictus. QVR Maledictus is moving down. He's gonna be in RJ's seat tonight as a full-time driver.
Full-time driver as well, yeah.
If RJ comes back next week, then we'll give RJ the seat back, and Maledictus's points won't count. But we're giving RJ a week's grace, basically. It's unlikely he'll be back, but just in case, just because it's just a headache if someone, if he does come back and we're like, oh, actually this is really awkward. So Maledictus will be driving, and he's got no points from about 7 starts in Division 1, but that's Division 1. So he could well be well up there. From my knowledge, he's similar pace to Campbell, so he's not going to be slow.
So he could be causing a fair few headaches to the guys fighting at the top end of the championship.
Yeah, absolutely. So that'll be interesting.
I think that kind of wraps up D2. I think we can move on to D3 now.
Okay.
So what? Sorry,
You go.
Victor. No. After you. This is your moment, my man.
So yeah, D3 was pretty straightforward in what happened with Adri and Wuta. Like, I feel like there was a very close top 3, and then a bit of a drop off to 4th and downwards. So there was Adri, who pretty much controlled the race for most of it, straight from pole to the win. Same with Wuta, and then Nico in 3rd. So that was pretty much the same for the whole race. But then through the rest of the field, it was really close, with me and Heated having a fight for a lot of the later part of the race, as well as Ghost and Smitsky intertwining in that, holding some of us up for some of it, as well as having better pace than us for some of it. So I feel like it really showed who was fast, like who's the front runners in D3, with Adri, Wuta and Nico being really quick. And then I feel like the rest of the field is very close in D3. Yeah.
I mean, we gotta give it Ghost and our best result of the season so far. Round of applause for Ghost.
No, absolutely.
Imagine clapping. Imagine clapping.
I was so hyped. I was watching it. I was like, "Don't crash!"
Yeah.
That's so you just really have to say, just don't crash. Well, actually, no. I feel like we could just say that in unison. You watching me drive, it's like, don't crash.
I also have to give shout out to Wakursk, or Classy as is known, getting his first points of the season all the way up in 7th. And also could have been a lot higher, but unfortunately me and him had a bit of a tangle in turn 1 in about the middle of the race. So
Yeah. And
I know he was really happy with his result, so, and he's very quick at Russia coming up this week, with possibly a podium on the cards if he just keeps out of the wall. So
nice.
I will give a quick shout out to my teammate Ibo. Even though he did not score a point, he still soldiered on and managed to make it to the checkered flag. So so all I gotta say is he made it through the battle.
Definitely. He always finishes. He always finishes Monaco. Always. It's
Ibo
weird.
is very respectable.
Oh yeah.
There was one thing that really surprised me was how quickly Mr. Ruta got that gap to Nico
Yeah.
after he got past. That gap just completely exploded.
Opened up. Yeah.
See, it was weird because watching it, I thought if Nico can keep Wouter behind him, I thought his tyres might be in better shape towards the end to chase after Adri, but unfortunately not. It was it's really mixed everything up, isn't it, for the title? It looks all very very different to a while ago.
Yeah. James is just falling off a bit in a way. I feel like his consistency's just lacking. He's had a few major mistakes in some of the previous races, which have cost him major points, which just could have costed him the championship by now.
I mean, we could have said that about Adri at the beginning of the season as well.
Yeah, that is very
mistakes
true.
that dropping a few points here and there.
I mean, it's amazing. In the top, out of the 12 podium places that have been available in the last 4 races, the top 3 in the championship have only got 3 of them, and all 3 are Adri.
Adri, yeah.
And it's, you know, it's Big W and Mr. Wouter that are, interestingly, one of you's always coming second in the last since you've joined. Just swapping
Yeah.
every time.
Literally every single time, yeah.
It's been great watching them, just close in, close in, close in.
And I,
Bit of sweat on my eyebrow, close in, and yeah. Monaco.
I also I feel like the constructors could be closing up quite a lot now as well. With now I'm a full-time driver with MCR. If we just stay consistent, we could boost McLaren up the standings hopefully.
Yeah, definitely.
I know Mike doesn't think that Renault are gonna stay as constructors champions, but
No, I don't.
he just feels like Smitsky bragging about them being constructors is gonna bite them back later. But I still feel like they have a very good chance.
It always bugs me when the second driver chirps up about being constructor champion. It's like, you get some points on the board, mate.
I'm looking at it like this. At the moment, Red Bull have probably got the 2 most even teammates at the moment in D3.
Yeah, you and
But
Nico.
now, with you and MCR, that's going to be another force to be reckoned with. That will be just that one step ahead, I think, because you're going to be there battling with Adri, all the big boys now. Nico will be thereabouts, and I'll be just behind. So you'll
I feel
be
like-
always gaining. So I think that's
I
the
feel
like
fight.
at Russia as well, with this not being one of my best tracks, and I feel like you and the Red Bull could easily get a podium if you just keep it clean, stay in your own race, and this could boost you both up in the constructors and the drivers championship.
And just one shout on the constructors. Williams have overtaken Alpha. There we go.
Williams.
Come on.
Ghost hasn't got a clue. Is that? Okay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't actually know that
I
as
did
well
it,
either.
bro. I did it for us.
Yeah, by 1 point. So that was an important
1
6th
point,
place.
He was practically carrying at first because he had that terrific finish in Baku, and then I managed to come back with Monaco.
I'm
Yeah.
glad Singapore's not on the calendar. Williams always do well at
Yeah.
street circuits.
Yeah.
But
That
yeah.
is very true.
Any comments on the track? I mean, I don't think we're giving anything away when we say it's a very easy one stop if it doesn't rain.
I'd say the most challenging has to be Sector 3, because
Yeah.
I mean, I've been caught up from some of the corners in Sector 3, but I think that's where we see most of the bottle ups and issues, and I think I don't even think we're going to see much battling action there, but definitely I see the actions at Sectors 1 and 2. I think just Sector 1 is just the most straightforward part of the track.
Yeah. Except it is very easy to lose and gain time in turns 1 and 2. Because it's also very easy to invalidate your lap there. So.
Oh, quite easily.
I was gonna say probably the most difficult thing about this track is the track limits.
Yeah.
Some corners are
Oh,
very
yeah.
harsh.
I know Mike's got disqualified from a few races because of penalties.
I got disqualified on purpose.
Yeah.
I think it will be the one factor. Sorry, go on, Ghost. After you.
Oh no, go ahead.
The one factor that will be interesting in Sector 3 is that there's many lines you can take through almost the big chicane.
Yeah,
you can
turn 15, 16. I think that's what
Yeah, and because of that, and because I think the variations in brake pressure that people will run too, I can see it being quite easy to follow in behind someone and snapping your wing.
yeah.
So that will be one to look out for.
It's also very easy to like slide out and lose your back end at turn 15 if you just take a bit too much pace into the corner. And
Yeah. I think it's a DRS train, like you said, as well. So might even favour someone starting from 11th on the mediums or the hards.
yeah.
I mean, I hate to say this, but I honestly think the race is going to come down to who gets the least amount of penalties.
Penalties, yeah. And I feel like Adri is very consistent on not getting too many penalties, as well as his pace being good, so he's my favourite for this race. But there could definitely be a wild card if something random happens in turn 1 or in qualifying.
I think
Yeah, because in Russia, though, definitely, if you touch the apex a little too much, the FIA will just have a heart attack.
Yeah.
Caesar, James and Joom in each of their respective divisions will rack up over 30 seconds of penalties, is my prediction.
Yeah.
They
I
are...
think Mike's gonna... I feel like Mike's gonna be up there as well. In the
No,
practice I've done. Is that,
If I focus, I'm good.
No,
That-
but I'm gonna be in a party with you and then just slightly distracting you maybe. Put some epic music on.
Lovely.
I mean,
That's moral.
the thing is, I'm big W needed.
This is it. With his, he's talking a lot for a 34.1 Grand Prix time that I've got on the screen. That will be shown on the event score. So we'll see where that takes him.
That was on my wheel. I've only had the wheel for like, what do you mean? That was on my wheel. Come on.
It's
I've had
alright.
it for a week now. That you have to think that's a decent time for only having the wheel for a week.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll find that 2.2 seconds really easy. It'll be fine. But no, I'm looking forward to it. I predict good things for all of us. I think our goal has to be. What should we say? Let's say over 40 points between the four of us. Why not?
Ooh, that's a big task.
You're asking me this. This is too much.
Yeah, we need.
Let's go. We predicted a winner for Division 1. We didn't do it for Div 2, but should we predict podiums for all 3 divisions?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Alright,
Right, well,
go on, Ivor. Since you suggested it, go on, you go
D1.
first.
D1, I think Harrison's going to return with the win. Montana second. And I'm going to butcher this name. Michaela, what was it?
Who?
The other guy,
Well,
that's,
Mitch.
Mitch.
The new guy, Mitch.
I'm just gonna,
Mitch,
yeah.
Mitch.
Just call him Mitch.
Yeah.
I just saw him come into the lobby earlier. And I was like, oh yeah, he's almost got the same name as me.
Okay. That's interesting. We'll go do all three in a row. Go on, and then you can go do
Right.
D2.
D2, I think Campbell may get a win. I
Okay.
think Caesar will have the pace, but I think he will pick up just a tad too many pens.
I kind of have to agree, and I also don't think J. Cole will be up to pace with his teammate, because Campbell has just shown himself as a worthy adversary for him.
Oh, I don't think is Campbell racing today. Do you know
I
what?
think he is.
Is he?
Maybe not. No.
I think he is. I think he is. Can't, no, he is. He is. Can't race.
I got Campbell, Caesar, and
Oh no,
Mark.
he
Jack
can't
on the
race.
podium.
He can't
Oh,
race.
no, yeah, Campbell can't. He
No.
doesn't
Oh,
like
he
the
can't
game.
race.
Yeah, he can't race. So you
Oh,
need
in
to adjust
case then,
that.
Caesar with a win. Mark second. J. Cole third.
Ooh, no
Damn.
damn in it.
And D3.
D3.
Embo.
I would bring Mike first, I would bring Mike second, I would bring Mike third.
Very good. Confidence is key.
Nah, to be honest, I think Adri with the win. Nico second. I want to get third, but I think Mr. Roja might just be able to do it.
I just want to make a point. I think is today the 20? Yeah, today's the 28th. Montana has recently set the second best time in the world on time trial around Russia.
Well, there you go. Well, that makes your prediction easy.
30.1.
Damn, that is quick. So what?
Yeah.
Big W, what's your predictions, my man, for D1?
Okay. For D1, well, I've got to say Montana for the win.
Mm.
I'm gonna say June in second.
Mhm.
Ooh, then third. I'm also gonna say Harrison David, but I feel like he could be, with no assist this week, he could be prone to a mistake or two. So,
Okay.
I'm
And
gonna
D-
say that.
D2.
D2. I'm gonna say Caesar for the win. Mark in second, and then Dan in third.
Okay, a lot of love for Caesar. Ghost.
Yeah.
This is for Division 2, right? Or Division 1?
Don't worry about Division 1 if you don't know the guys enough. Don't worry about it too much.
Oh, it's a tough call, but I'll throw Caesar in there. I think he'll definitely win it all, and I think also Jake Cool will stick right behind him the whole time.
Okay. And third place? Have you got any predictions for third? Oh,
Come on, you got to put Mark in it. He's sat right here, he's waiting for it.
there will be quicker people than me. There will definitely be quicker people than me.
The time trial time's looking pretty impressive.
Yeah, but that's nothing. And Ghost, what about D?
1.0.
What about D3?
Davey, Ebo, he'll win, definitely.
Okay, nailed on.
And, I'm probably gonna have to agree with Mike though on it because he's super quick. He just knows how to, like, he knows just how to abuse the DRS. So yeah, I think Skimix brain. Skimix. I can't say his
Smitsky.
name. Yeah, thank you.
Good job you don't commentate D3. Is that because is it because it sounds Russian?
I say I'm an American. I don't speak communist. Just
I
kidding.
think we have to have a variation of his old catchphrase. What a burn!
What a burn, yeah. And what about second and third?
I think I can see Nico in the podium. I think I think he could definitely go for P3. For P2, man, that is actually. I think I'm maybe Heated. I think because Heated.
Heated's not racing.
He can be pretty.
Oh yeah, it's not racing.
Oh yeah,
But-
the guy's not racing.
I say, but I could be wrong. He might bottle it. I don't know.
And okay.
Right, on to you now, Mark.
Okay, so I'm gonna say Neo in first. A very, very quick returning driver. I'm gonna say Joom in second. And I'm gonna say Daka in third.
Big cool not having Montana in there.
I think
Not
that
really too happy about this.
I think the no
Right.
assists might not help.
Yeah, the no assist could be.
If he even races, no assist.
Yeah, maybe. Well, D2 will be J. Cole first. It will be Dan second, Morgan third. Is my prediction. And
Where do you think you're gonna finish in D2?
I'll come third on track and I'll come fourth. Caesar will come second and come sixth.
Oh.
That's my very specific prediction. D3. Don't know.
That's right, you don't have to say. You don't have to say, brother. We already know. You don't have to say.
Adri comes. Adri comes first. Second will be James, and third will be. Ooh, I don't really know. I don't know enough. I haven't practiced enough for you guys this week. I'm just gonna say either.
Oh, why'd you have to beat Vigo even more?
Because I said Martin finished third in D2, that's right. That's how it works.
He's never got a legit podium. He only had it given to him because I was feeling nice and kicked velocity out of the standing. So I want him to get a real one.
I mean, at the moment, I'm leading the time trial of D4.
Yeah, you are leading a time trial in D3.
Yeah,
But
but
that means absolutely nothing.
I mean, look, we're talking about this. I'm going to quickly just look at the time trial times. This is shenanigans. This is shenanigans
How
because
time's
I
off you?
feel like
yeah, and I'm rapid for some like on this. So you are quick, but let's look at the leaderboards, right? We got Daka first,
D2 confirmed.
Caesar second, Raikon third. I'm apparently quicker than Game Boys, Gary, Killer Blue, Naluigi, Rick. In fact, you are the same pace as Rick in D1. I mean, this is just nonsense. Come on.
D1 confirmed.
You're beating YHYY, his brother, who is infinitely slower. He's 3/10 slower than you. Adri is 15th quickest. Yeah, it's just shenanigans, isn't
We're
it?
cursed in
Funny
there.
enough, I'm
We're
50th
cursed
quickest
is
on my
beating.
my leaderboard.
We're cursed is beating Adri here. 131.6.
Well, this is it. So take them with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say it like it is. I'm getting nowhere near my TT time in qualifying.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't.
Oh,
I
right.
don't know how you did that. Yesterday
I
was
don't know that.
31.8. It's just suddenly 31.4.
Corner cutting, but
I think for me, I think my prediction for myself probably 8th, if I'm lucky.
Okay.
I was actually gonna say
Because I
8 for myself around here as well.
I mean, I'll probably take advantage of people bottling it because really I haven't really had much issues on bottling it, but then again I haven't really put my final setup on yet, so we're just gonna have to see.
Oh, cool.
oh, my prediction for myself. Hopefully
Oh,
top
we already
7.
know what it's gonna be. Oh, okay.
No, hopefully
That's
hopefully
surprising.
top 7. If I get top 5, I'll be over the moon. But I'm aiming for top 7.
You definitely have the pace. You just need to not get penalties.
Or bottle it.
I think you're hanging too much on the Banda sections.
But we'll right, we'll call it here. It's been fun. I've enjoyed the dynamic of the four of us. 40 points. I will write down these predictions that we've made and see who gets the closest, if anyone. But yeah, that will be fun. But thanks everyone for listening. Thanks to the worldwide guests that have been listening, I'm sure, and the worldwide podcast hosts have been Big W, Ivor, Ghost, and me.